Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I've got a fun show for you guys because I've got two guests who've been on the show a few times together, and they're back. Please welcome John Ward. How you doing, John?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. And we got Maddie Deering. How are you doing, Madeline?
Hey, great. How are you?
Good, good. I'm so happy to have you both here again. And
Mhm.
what was the last one we did, Knights of the City, or was there
Ugh.
one after that?
We definitely were on to go for Night to the City.
I
I
know
think
you were
it
down here for Knights of the City, but I wonder if that was the last one I
I
had
I
think
you
that was the
forget.
both
last
on
one.
for Indie Film Cafe.
I
You know,
think that was the last one. Yeah.
yeah, John hated it so much he didn't want
I
Such
enjoyed
a
a lot of
such
it.
a dumb movie. Yeah.
to.
Such a
Me and
fun,
Maddie liked it
fun
so
dumb
much.
movie.
Whatever.
There
Fun
were
dumb.
no knights. There was barely a city.
It was night during a
It,
lot.
wa- it was night at times, but it wasn't tonight. You know. So yeah, we're here to talk about this 1991 shot on video film that I picked mainly for Maddie for sure because she is a shot on video lover. And so when I thought about doing this, I was like, all right, I have to have Maddie on. And I was like, it'd be nice to have John again if he's available, and everything. And it all worked out. And I'm anxious to hear what everybody has to say, what everybody thinks, because this should be a fun, interesting episode. But until
Definitely.
then, let's listen to some mood music. And we are back. It is so weird for me to say the mood music without Paul. It almost feels like cheating. Um,
Well, it wouldn't be moo music. It would be moody music when
uh,
you're on by yourself.
True. That's true.
I could have
Yeah.
done that, but I could do that. I don't know. I we'll see. We'll see if I change that up next time,
Next
or
time.
whatever. Next time.
That's got to be a thing. Moody music.
Yeah, and by myself. When I'm with Paul, it's moo. But when
Well, yeah.
yeah, Paul is the moo guy, is the moo cow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be talking about Soul of the Demon. As I said, it was a 1991 film, by what was his name? Charles T. Lang, if I'm right.
Like,
Who I think I found on Facebook.
You think you
And
found him?
and yeah, because it's just like Charles Lang. And then, but I noticed is after his name, it's in parentheses. It says something like Guy. I'm not exactly remembering what it was. It was like Guy or we, like with two E's or something. And in the credits of the movie, that name is in the movie.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh, maybe that's him.
interesting.
So, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet.
Oh,
And the best part of the movie is that it was shot out here in Las Vegas.
that was your
I
that
didn't
was
know.
your favorite part about it?
Yep. Yep.
Oh boy, this is
Shout
gonna
out to
be. I think this
Vegas.
is gonna be another one of those shows. But um, basically, it's shot in Las Vegas. You're correct. So that's one of the background stuff I have for it. Um, it's also so Charles Lang directed and wrote it. Um, it was produced, which probably just meant they gave some money for film or whatever, probably lunch, this, or even some of the money for the special effects, because, we'll get into that later. But by Dale Andrew, Harold Allen, Charles Lang produced it, and Catherine Sparks associate produced it. So a lot of these people, this was like their only movie, or they did the other one that Charles did, High Desert, because that's the only two that Charles has directed so far in his career.
I was
Um,
able to find
High
both
Desert.
of those movies. One of them is on oh god, how do you pronounce that? Decrepit.
Decrepit.
Decrepit, maybe? Okay,
That
Decrepit.
Nightmare box set or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Crypt
so
of Nightmares. It's the Pendulum Pictures of
both
50
of them are on
movies.
Pendulum Pictures,
Yeah, then the
releases.
other one is on Tombs of Terrors, 50 movies. So that's the only way I could find them. But they're
I
like
have them
$100 each.
no, I have them both on a separate Pendulum Pictures release that has like 6 movies.
Yeah,
I
they
just
have
don't know which ones they are on, but I have both of them,
I have the decrepit whatever. It
the
has
50 pack.
high desert on it or whatever. So I think I
Yeah.
started watching it and I thought this looks kind of cool, and I still haven't even finished it, but I didn't realize that was the same director. And this was the first time watch for me, and I don't have the Tombs of Terror or whatever box set, just the decrepit one.
They're really pricey. I mean, I was
Well,
gonna
yeah, they're
pick
out
them
of
both
print.
up,
I
but
got lucky with the decrepit one. I got a good price on it. It's missing one disc, but still, and it's got some really good stuff on them.
Yeah, if you got it at a really good price, I mean, one disc is okay, but
Yeah, that's why I'm not upset about it or anything. But
yeah,
they're
and you
great
can always
stats
find that one
and
disc
stuff.
probably in its own separate thing and then just put it in there,
Yeah.
if you want. But yeah, I don't know. Uh I don't have any of the 50 packs, but I do have like a bunch of the 6 packs individually. So I really like them.
Oh, they're
Sometimes
great.
there's gold, in them. Sometimes there's like really good movies that should not be in them, And then there's some that definitely this is the place
Yeah.
to go because they're from Brain Damage, and Brain Damage I love Darren Ramage, who runs Brain Damage, and he actually does he does another thing called Midnight Releasing, and
Oh, yeah.
he tends to like talk to me on Instagram. Very nice guy. He loves indie support, and stuff. But his some of their stuff, man, whew, rough.
well,
The
so
decrepit.
you're saying that you have both of these films on something else?
Hmm.
What
Yeah, they're
what is
on
it?
um
Because
what was
then
the
I'll look that one up.
Yeah, if I can find it, it's in the studio, sadly. So I don't know which one. It's Pendulum Pictures, the 6 pack, Soul of the Demon. It's a 6 pack with like
But it
hardcore horrors, maybe.
has that high desert in
Yep.
it.
So hardcore horrors is the first one, and you can actually get that for 11.97 online.
That's not
Where?
bad.
I'm gonna guess eBay, but let me see. Oh, that's eBay. That's eBay UK, so that's not the eBay you want to go to. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. If you just look up on eBay hardcore horrors, you'll be able to find it. And then the other one is high desert. And if you look up Pendulum Pictures,
You said
um
it's called the Hardcore Horrors.
yeah, it's a 6 pack with it sounds
Yeah,
like a
they
beer,
released a
but
lot of those 50-pack movies on like smaller 6 packs.
um
You can find
Oh,
those
okay.
cheap a lot of places. I mean, used. But there's probably a lot of them. So
and High Desert is on Mental Maniacs
I
six
think I
pack.
might have that one too.
That's the one you probably have too, or
Yeah,
whatever. That might have been the one you watched it on, or
yeah.
maybe you watched it on your Decrepit pack, but I don't know.
I don't know. That Decrepit pack has like 6 Todd Sheets movies. It's a wonder. I love
Oh
Todd.
God, love Todd Sheets. We love it. We love Todd Sheets here at IFC.
Everyone
He was our first victim of our of our movies podcast. We did prehistoric bimbos in Armageddon City.
Oh yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, that was a Paul pick right there.
Of
I had
course.
never I don't think I had seen a Todd Sheets film at that time. Like I knew of him and I was friends with him, but I hadn't
Yeah.
watched one yet, and so I was really excited, and it was well worth it. So if you haven't seen Prehistoric Bimbos in Armageddon City, go watch it. He does not like his old stuff though.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Yeah.
he's releasing Goblin on Blu-ray, and I love Goblin, and I'm surprised he's doing it because we did an interview with him on SOB, still have SOB with him, and he's not a huge fan of Goblin.
Oh, all
But
right.
I love it. I think it's wonderful, but not to get off track. Just
No, it's
shut up.
okay. Yeah.
Stay on
movie
target.
reminded me a
Stay
ton,
on
Steve.
target.
So to go back to Soul of the Demon, who can encapsulate what happens in this? I'm gonna let Maddie do it. I want Maddie to do it. Encapsulate what happens in this film.
With these kids skipping school, find this like a gargoyle type statue, and they unbury it, and it's got the soul of a demon in it. And he does some research on the statue at the library and says, "Oh yeah, it's got a demon in it, whatever." And his brother's parents are their parents are away. I don't remember exactly where they were vacation or something.
I don't think they mentioned because
Yeah, I didn't think they did either.
they just said they were away and that don't have a party, which is all the standard like
Yeah,
90s.
don't have a party. But
80s,
of
90s,
course they
true.
have a party, but it's elsewhere at a supposed haunted location, and then the demon's released and starts killing the kids.
Killing kids one by one, just like demons do, you know?
Kind of like a Night of the Demons type vibe.
Found them both. They're
It
both
was
in my cart.
Oh, they're in your cart. Nice. Well, there you go.
$8 and under. There we go.
Here you go.
Now,
Perfect.
now I don't think I even have to give my opinion on if I like the movie or not if I'm hunting down this guy's films. So,
if you want to actually own them or something.
yeah,
I
then
mean,
that probably tells you if I like the movie or not.
yeah. See, I was wondering about that because you said no talkie, which meant that you didn't want to. You did not want to mention anything before the show.
Yeah, I don't like talking about this stuff beforehand.
Right, just in case, I mean, it's a good conversation. You don't want to have the conversation before the conversation.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's to kind of elaborate on what Maddie was saying is they I thought what they found down by like the little lake or river was pretty cool. It was like this little coffin thing, and they opened it, and all the smoke came out, and then there's like the gargoyle thing that looks a lot like the thing from The Exorcist.
Yeah,
and the brothers' friends, their hair is the worst. I'm sorry. I don't remember the 90s being that way. I lived in LA at that time, so I wasn't that far away from Vegas.
they were big fans of Welcome Back, Kotter.
Apparently, I mean, wow. And they want to use it for a seance. And the little brother's like, F you, you're not going to use my statue for that. And so they decide that they don't need it after all. And they go to a haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that and I wonder if that place is still around here. It probably isn't. They probably tore it down and built like a shopping mall. But and then they do the seance, and the little brother gets possessed, which I thought was pretty awesome, and goes around killing everybody at the haunted house. And that's when it became awesome. Once they went into that haunted house, the film became awesome.
Yeah. So, I read some reviews, and some of the people are saying like it starts off where like there's not really a lot of killing, in the beginning. Like in the beginning, like you see sort of, I guess I'm wondering if like because they got the shots of like the what is the ambulance and stuff like that. I'm wondering if the dude just went out and like saw like there was an ambulance around and just videotaped it.
I looked in the credits and it says thank you to fire ambulance, like Las Vegas fire ambulance type thing. So I don't know.
Maybe they asked them if they could. Okay, could do that. That's awesome if they did.
And we never go back to that.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a thing, but no. I mean,
like it was going to be like a wraparound, and then you would see. Because that the place that the fire and ambulance is at is definitely not the haunted house.
Right.
It looks like a completely different place. But it's clearly influenced by Evil Dead, and Evil Dead 2, because in the end credits, I think it was for production assistance. I think it said fake shimps.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know that's Sam Raimi. And then, of course, the ending alone, where the young kid sees himself in the book and he's no, that's right from Evil Dead 2.
Right.
So and your guy there on your picture, I think is kind of meant to be the old guy from Poltergeist 2 and 3.
That's what I thought too.
I was thinking the same thing actually.
Yeah.
So, and it was cool. Like so you mentioned, Maddie, that that they pick up this, they find this gargoyle, but you forgot to mention the guy that comes in and tells
I
them.
did forget to mention that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he kind of tells them,
Yeah.
don't, you need to rebury that, don't touch it or whatever. But then we find out at the end he did that on purpose because he knew that they wouldn't listen to him. And I
Exactly.
thought that was fucking smart, because generally speaking, that's the guy that warns you, like, don't go there, don't do that, and then disappears, and then you never see him again, or whatever. Well, in this case, he's actually a big part of the demon and all this other stuff, and
Yeah, to take his place. And
Yeah.
it reminded me a lot of Stephen King's Storm of the Century, which came out, I think, much later.
You think Stephen King watched this movie?
Well, it's an island, and a guy is there, and he's death, and we find out at the end that he's trying to find his replacement, which is a kid.
Yeah.
And the kid goes off with death to replace him.
I think Charles Lang has a little bit of a little bit of Harlan Ellison to go do, be like, you stole my idea.
Yeah, let's find out when. Let's see.
It came out in probably like 98 or something.
Right.
Storm of the Century.
Stephen King's
almost
a big
99. Almost. You got it almost right.
I remember watching it when it was on cable.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, two-nighter thing.
So Stephen King's a really big like indie fan. He loved like Shark Exorcist as a name and Sharks of the Cord. He thought that was hilarious. And stuff. So he obviously looks for indie, things. Maybe,
you never know.
Got inspired by Soul of the Demon. It's funny because you think like some people might actually send their movies to big time people, like let's just send this movie off to Stephen King and see what happens. And I don't know if he has like lawyers that gather around and tell him, don't watch that, because if you get inspired, they could sue you,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Also, everybody has ideas that are similar to each other.
I think all that is King probably doesn't even know the stuff comes. It just all goes to his office, and people just throw it in the trash.
There was a movie. There was a movie called Grind. It was a skateboard movie, and Dave Foley was in it, and he plays like the manager of a skater, right? And he goes up, and they're like trying to give him all these tapes, and at one point, he goes, "Oh, hold on, okay," and he tosses it in. There's all these other tapes, just tosses it like right in the middle, and they're like, "So when does he have time to watch these?" He's like, "Oh, he's got the system where he doesn't watch any of them, and that works out perfectly."
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just like, and it's the perfect like I love that movie because it just like makes me laugh. Dawson's is sort of is an inspirational movie. But anyway, the point is that Stephen King probably gets all those tapes sent to his manager, and then he just tosses it into a big tape thing, and then says, he's not going to watch any of them.
No.
But
the whole Dollar Baby thing, he doesn't give a crap. It's all his people. I mean, he doesn't bother with any of that stuff.
Right. I mean,
so
he just wrote the scripts or whatever the stories. And then, whatever. And then everybody else can do whatever they want with it. But to go back to this film, which was, I mean, honestly, this was a lot more fun than I was expecting. I even wrote that to you, John, I think. Like
I was actually going to text you when it started and just said, why am I watching this?
Right,
because when the kids are when they're on their bikes and they're at that like little creek thing, this is the dialogue. Are we going to get caught? I don't think we're going to get caught. I think we're going to get caught. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get caught. You think we're going to get caught? I'm not sure. Are we going to get caught? I don't know. Where are your parents? I don't know. Are we gonna get caught?
Yeah.
They repeated themselves throughout this entire movie, and that was annoying to me. Is I'm assuming that they had a script, but then they just kind of riffed off of it.
Yeah,
Because
maybe they
even
couldn't remember everything,
well, like
so
even when they're at the haunted house, everybody's repeating themselves. Everybody, it's where's Tom and Susan? I don't know. Where's Tom and Susan? I don't know. Are Tom and Susan upstairs? I don't know.
we
Are
call
they
that
upstairs,
braining
Tom and
here.
Susan? It's like fuck.
We call that braining at Indie Film Cafe when you repeat yourself, like more than once, you're braining because that's what Neil Breen does in every one of his movies.
Oh,
Is
okay.
he'll be like, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that, you know? And it's just annoying. It's obnoxious. And I don't
Yeah,
like it when I see it in films. I see it in a lot of films these days,
the only filmmaker that's good enough to repeat themselves is David Mamet, and he's a nut job these days. But if you look back on his old stuff, Spanish Prisoner and Glengarry Glen Ross and stuff, and Homicide, I mean, people repeat themselves constantly, and it's for a reason.
Right.
It's because he's an excellent writer. But
Yeah.
that was the only thing that truly annoyed me. I thought the effects were awesome.
The effects
From what we could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard
Well,
to see on this. I'm surprised this hasn't gotten like a Blu-ray release from, Vinegar Syndrome or
well,
something.
or at least a good DVD from Shot on Video. I know
Like
Tony Masalo is a fan.
Yeah, Tony
Yeah, he was.
Massalos.
I could see his postings when I tried to look up the director and I put in the film
Yes,
name.
I
Yeah,
did the same thing
he
too.
came up over. I did see one review online because I was just trying to learn about the movie, and this one critic's like, "Why is this exactly what you guys just said? Why hasn't this film gotten at least a DVD release, if not like a really good
I mean, it's
Blu-ray
got the
release?"
DVD release from Brain Damage, but like its own official one
Its
with
own
like
thing
maybe
from like
commentary or
Severin
something.
or something like that.
Yeah,
You need one of
something
those
that's
indie.
remastered a little bit because I'm sure the DVD it looked better than the YouTube, but it's not gonna look,
Not much
it needs
better.
remastered a little bit because I know how
Wouldn't that
brain
be
damage is.
wouldn't that be awful if it looked if that is the copy
It's probably
that's on YouTube?
a
Like
small upgrade.
Yeah, no, I imagine it's a little bit of an upgrade on DVD, but I didn't watch it on DVD. I only watched it on the YouTube, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean I own it. I just there's so many of those movies on there that I just
Yeah.
even Donald Farmer has like at least one or two on there, and and we'll do more because like I said, Pendulum Pictures has like over hundreds and hundreds of these movies, and most of them are like this, where they're, some like pretty decently done, and at least if they're bad, they're sort of laughable bad, kind
For
of thing.
sure.
Um, like like kind of silly, or whatever. But to go back to so Maddie, did you like the film itself?
That was a blast. Once I saw it, and I didn't even know, I don't think you told me it was shot on video, but started watching it. I was like, I think this is shot on video. And I was like, it definitely is. And like,
Hmm.
it just has that feel, like the corny dialogue, like he said, repetitive, whatever. I mean, I was just enjoying it from the get-go. And once the gore and, everything started in the haunted house, I was like, this is great. How have I never seen this?
yeah.
It feels like something I should have seen before. And it's definitely, anyone who knows me knows I would love a movie like that. I mean, it's just a
Right.
blast.
Yeah. And
The
yeah, well, I mean,
Nelson Gore is fantastic.
and that's the thing, like as John was saying, like the people saying this should have gotten a DVD or Blu-ray, it's because of the gore, really.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
Well, it's all practical.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, remember that girl's head gets cut off and it cuts to the top of the head and her eyes are moving back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
So somebody put
Fantastic.
together, a head where the eyes could move. Somebody
Exactly.
off stage, off camera is use a little remote control to make those eyes go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I mean, where most people would just not, they decided to do it. So I completely give these guys props.
definitely.
They worked
Yeah.
their ass off on the horror aspect of it, which in the beginning we really don't get. Like for the first like 30 minutes, there's no horror, or
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
I was like starting to get a little worried because it was a lot just talking and stuff. So I was
Well,
like,
how did you find it? Like, why did you have us do it? Like, what made you pick this, especially with the quality?
okay, well, first off, I found it on the Pendulum Pictures. So when I found that, and then I looked it up and I found out that the guy had done one other movie, High Desert, and whatnot. I just knew like this would be a fun one. Then I found it on YouTube, and then I ripped it from YouTube to my YouTube, put it on my YouTube, so that I could just in case sometimes those YouTubes get deleted or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever, and stuff. And
Yeah, they get a bug up their butt and they just decide, it's been on YouTube for 10 years. And then now it's like, oh, now it goes against copyright.
That
or
happens.
or or it's been for 10 years and the original filmmakers are just like, I don't want to have this up here anymore. And they
Yeah.
delete the projects or they delete it. So I put it on my own, now I can't do that with like you can't do that with like stuff like King of Horror. You have to like find ways to do those movies because they have a thing where you can't, it's not
Yeah.
very easily rippable
Really?
or
I
whatever.
downloaded my two films from Kings of Horror.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I think you know how to do that better than I do, or
No,
whatever.
I
I
just
I
got a
just
YouTube downloader.
I just use the was it MP4 converter or whatever, and that's what I usually use.
I use
Um,
Viddy,
oh,
and yeah, it's just a YouTube video downloader, and I wanted that Kings of Horror thing on the front of the film, and so I downloaded both of them.
I don't think people like, we don't condone this. This isn't our
Oh, I
it's
do,
just
I do.
but yeah,
How
so
else are you going to find a lot of these movies unless you're downloading them and sharing them with other people? Maddie and I would have never known of this movie if you didn't do that.
well, I
Yeah.
was told I was told that, the movies that are on Tubi and stuff like that, once they're off Tubi, they're very hard to find anybody else who will take, movies that have already been sort of used, you know, and stuff like Freevee might not take it because it's already on Tubi and stuff like that, and what or other things. So I'm like sad about that. And then a lot of times people just upload them to YouTube because that's the
Yeah.
only way you can find them. Until one day where Tubi is that big, where it has every independent horror film, to be out.
Right.
Um, it doesn't happen. So I mean, but the beauty is that we were able to see this, and so when I picked it because I like I saw some of it and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like I took a look at it and I was like, I'll want to watch the whole thing when I do the show. So I had it in mind for some time to do it because scheduled this for a long time ago. And then I was like, I don't know. I when I saw it was kids, I knew Paul would hate it. Paul hates movies with kids. So I was like, I
Yeah,
got
I
to
don't
get
blame him on
two
that one.
people and so I picked Maddie for this SOV thing.
Yeah.
And I brought you on, John, because you're very Paul-like, but you don't mind movies with kids. So, it was sort of like the best of both worlds. And I mean we did this season we did Peter Rottentail and man, Paul did
Oh
not
yeah.
like that one, but
That
Maddie
was
loved it.
hell.
And so sometimes there's movies, that, people have different tastes and everything. Um, I
Right.
enjoyed this a lot because I just felt like it was a bunch of kids making a movie together.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Charles Lang was when he made this, but I'm guessing he was in high school or so, or college, or whatever. And he was able to go, "Hey guys, let's get together and make this flick." And he got and made a like an hour and 20 no, hour 17 minute hour and
Yeah. I think.
17-minute movie. But still, that's pretty damn impressive.
Oh, it is. That's why
77
I love
minutes.
shot on video movies, because it's a lot of times like this, or like anything, like people getting together with friends, just like, hey, let's make a movie. And like,
Yeah.
that's inspiring. It's always been inspiring.
Yeah, it
Well,
is
and Vegas
inspiring.
is so easy to film in too. I mean, it's you don't really need permits out here. I mean, I would assume if you're a big ass movie, yeah, but it's. I mean, I've shot all over Vegas, and I've never had a problem with it. So even in like the late '90s, I mean, look what this guy had. He had like a creek, a house, a haunted house, and pretty much that's it.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can't shoot in like public stuff like the casinos and stuff like that, I don't think.
You can, if you want to be sneaky about it, and use your phone.
Yeah. Because then
You know,
you look like a tourist who's just
yeah,
videotaping.
Yeah.
that's how that guy made that movie at Disneyland.
Yeah.
He
Oh
shot everything
yeah.
on his
Escape,
phone.
escape into
Escape
nowhere.
from escape from nowhere, escape into nowhere, yeah, something like that, and it was completely shot on his phone.
That
But
movie's
that's I own it, but I haven't watched it yet. And
oh, it's fantastic.
Is it? I need to see it too because
Yeah.
I want to see what somebody did like that. Like that's cool to me. Like
Oh,
that's
I can't recommend it enough.
I
there
mean,
was a
what?
lot of work that went into that. I saw an interview with him where
Yeah.
he talked about they planned everything out in the hotel room. So
Mhm.
they like knew, Joe was going to get the front, Bob was going to get the back, then somebody was going to stand in line and get like a master. They knew all that. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah.
neat. I love that. And planning, man. Planning is very important. And I mean, I don't think Charles did the effects of this. I mean, not effects, the camera work, if I'm correct. It doesn't say on here.
I can't
Um,
remember.
I think
he was a
in the
camera operator, so maybe he
yeah,
was.
I think he did. This wasn't poorly made.
No.
This was it was the editing was competent. The camera work was good. He actually got in some creative shots where a bicycle would go right in front of the camera, and then the kid would get off of it, and the camera would go up, it would pan up, and then we'd see the kid go into the house. So
Mhm.
he had some creative shots in there. So this was thought out. This wasn't just, hey, let's
Yeah.
just grab like a VHS camera and go shoot something over the weekend.
Yeah. No, I
You know,
agree. So I think that that's definitely the way, indie kids should do it, And that's the beautiful thing now is like we've got so much at our disposal. Like we're able to do disposal. We've got so much that we can do. And
Oh
there's no reason that like a kid and can't get his friends together and make a movie these days for sure.
exactly.
there's no reason that somebody with a decent camera that you can buy these days should go out and shoot somebody walking in the woods for 20 minutes or driving on the freeway for 20 minutes or have shots that don't match or anything like that.
Right. Like,
Like we know people who do.
yes. But that's the thing too, is like it takes a competent director, somebody who knows
Exactly.
what they're doing and I think Charles knew what he was doing, when he made this. Like he knew.
Yeah, I really want to see High Desert. It's a shame that he only made two movies. So
Really is. You can see so much talent in this.
I don't know why. I mean, I would love to interview him someday, like, and ask why
yeah,
he quit,
did he look at my message at all? Let's see here. Let's see if he
On
even.
this week on Indie Film Cafe, we're watching John check his
Oh,
phone
I
to
should put
see.
my phone up. There we go, because that's more he has not.
Oh,
He has not looked at my message yet. But I don't know. It says like different from your Facebook friend Charles Band. I don't know why that's in there, but
is
yeah, I
that a
just
new
asked him.
thing? Is that a wow? I've never heard that one before with
Yeah,
Facebook.
and this is
Facebook's
on
just changing shit
Tuesday.
around and just making it weird.
Yeah, I guess they have to. But I just wrote, "Hi, sorry to bother you, but are you the director of Soul of the Demon?"
Good question.
Yeah, and he hasn't.
Hasn't even read it.
Yep, nothing.
He's
yet.
got you on red. You know?
Yeah. So we'll find out. So, but it's that thing in parentheses that made me go like, wait a minute, I think this might be the guy.
Awesome.
And I wish I could.
If he is, tell him that other than maybe you wanting to do probably an interview with him too, that would be cool. Do like one filmmaker, one film kind of thing with him. I would love to have him on Indie Film Cafe Spotlight at some point because I would love to like question him about because I mean, there's not that many chances you get to talk to somebody who's only
Excuse me.
made like one or two films, you know,
Yeah.
and chat about the one or two films and why they just didn't do anymore. Maybe he wasn't making obviously wasn't making maybe making any money or anything, but
Okay, so I'm actually looking at the end credits. So in the end credits, it's second from the bottom. It says Rock, and it says Taz, Tazz.
right.
And when I looked him up, like if you view his profile, me being a stalker,
Better than me.
detective.
Like a detective work, yeah.
Yeah, it says other names, nickname Taz, Tazz.
Okay.
Well,
So I'm thinking,
Maybe that's his middle. Like, remember he's got Charles T. Lang. Maybe Taz is the middle thing for T.
oh yeah,
probably.
yeah. So he played a character named Rock, whoever Rock was in this.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I didn't even know he was in it. That's interesting.
I didn't either.
That's cool. I would love to look that up at some point just to see which character, because everybody was a high school kid or so, right? Like they're either older or they were younger, you know.
Which I love.
Yeah, that was absolutely a beautiful thing. So I love that. So you played a character named Rock.
Yeah. And
See.
and I'm looking at the special things, so I don't recognize any of these
what the heck?
places
That's
out here.
weird. So if you look up Rock on IMDb, it goes to a guy named Peter Sinerchia, and he's a wrestler.
Huh.
He's this guy. Kids can see that or not. You see that guy?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
That's him.
Looks like a wrestler.
So I don't know if that's the guy because he says Peter Sinerchia, better known as and by the ring name Taz, also spelled Tazz, is an American radio personality, color commentator, and retired professional wrestler signed to All Elite Wrestling as commentator and manager.
I don't know. This guy looks pretty typical. He kind of just looks like a guy.
We've come across a big mystery here.
Why?
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Maybe the Taz was tagged and it was the wrong Taz. Maybe it wasn't meant to be that Peter guy, and he's just like he's looking at his IMDb going, "Wait, I wasn't in Soul of the Demon," you know?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Now,
that
People
happened.
used to do that with me when
possible.
when people would give me a credit, they would just look up John Ward, and I had like 8 different people, and I'd have to contact each one, going, "Dude, that's not me." Like one is like a black guy, another one's like Chinese or something. It's like that's clearly not
Ward
me.
was the Chinese, like or Chinese Ward guy. That's funny.
Well, Ward's not my real last name, anyways. So so why not?
Interesting. I've never heard of a Chinese guy named with.
Remember, my family was with the mafia, so Ward is a made-up last name.
Oh yeah.
Did not know
that's
that.
That's actually true. That is a fact about me.
I feel like I heard that from you before, so
Yeah.
I think we talked about that.
I bet you talked about that in Knights of the City, and I just don't remember it because we talked about a lot of stuff.
I have no idea what my actual last name is, but it's it's on my birth certificate, so I guess that's me. But I'm thinking this guy. I think that is him. I really do.
Yeah, well, no, that makes more sense. So what I'm saying is, like, I think the professional wrestler guy that was tagged, Taz was tagged in the wrong
Yeah.
IMDb. So,
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
but yeah, the other Taz only has maybe one or two credits. He might be in High Desert as well. I'm not sure because I never saw it, man. Because if you actually look up High Desert now, there's like some TV show that I guess just came out called High Desert, and so I'm
Of
like,
course.
Jesus, what?
Of course there is.
Yeah. But I love this one because it says campers encounter a deadly biker gang. It just sounds like fun.
Yeah, I remember, like I said, starting it and thinking this looks great. I got to watch this when I'm more awake, and still haven't found the time. But I'm definitely gonna now, especially after watching this.
Well, what was interesting was that when I was looking up on IMDb, like every single person in the cast pretty much have never done anything else. Like this was their only
Yeah,
movie. So
that's
it's usually that like even with me, I like to work with the same people. So it's
yeah,
interesting that Charles just went on to do his next movie and didn't bring anybody back, you know?
yeah. Just
Mm.
like me, I brought back a lot of the same people for Bathtub Shark Attack.
John, I
Okay.
know John did that for Axmas, the Axmas stuff.
Yeah.
So I know you like working with a lot of the same people and stuff. So I mean,
Oh yeah,
but
I think
Most
that's the way to
directors,
go.
mo what?
most directors do. Most directors bring back at least some of the same people.
And what were you saying, John?
Oh no, I just said yeah, that's what I like to do.
Okay. So I was
Yeah,
trying to get
because
both of your
yeah,
things.
because Charles is like for director two, so High Desert and Soul of the Demon, and then camera and electrical department. So he was the lighting technician also on High Desert, and then camera operator on Soul of the Demon. He was the writer of Soul of the Demon, but I guess not High Desert.
Well, you didn't write High Desert, or is he not credited on?
I
Oh,
don't know.
no. Yeah, there's two guys, Jerry Carroll and
Yeah,
Ron Jason. Um, a lot of these, yeah, a lot of times. Maybe that was the other thing is like maybe I'm only speculating because I don't know the dude. But like maybe the dude just got tired of doing other people, like because he worked on his own project and then he worked on, somebody else's project and he's just like, this just isn't for me, like I just don't enjoy it as
Yeah.
much or whatever. That's why he left, you know. Um, but who knows? Um,
one of the writers of High Desert did Cauldron, Baptism of Blood. He
that
wrote
sounds
that,
like fun.
and he plays elderly bum.
Okay.
Elderly Bub.
Ron Jason was also in Mark of the Astro Zombie
Oh, I have all those.
and Angel of Vengeance.
So these guys are probably all Vegas people then, because that's the Astro Zombie stuff. You know, the not the first one, but the later ones were shot out here in Vegas.
Nice. Yeah, so their only writing credit was High
Oh
Desert.
shit!
What?
So that guy, that Ron Jason,
Mm-hmm.
actor, writer, producer, Legend of the Hillbilly Butcher. I own that.
Was that shot out there?
I don't know. Let's see. He also did Dangerous Waters, Dimension in Fear. Oh, he's got a bunch of credits. Yeah, he was an actor in a bunch of films. I own both of these movies. Cannibal Corpse Killers and
Las
Legend of the
Vegas serial
Hillbilly
killer, so
Butcher.
he is a Vegas guy. You know, he was in a movie called Las Vegas Serial Killer. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at this dude. He's been in a lot of shit. Mission Kill Fast. I've heard of that. That's
And he
Tiffany
was on
Nichols.
Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. He was on one episode.
I'm wondering if he's still doing stuff or whatever. Like, what was the last credit he had?
Cannibal Corpse Killers.
In 2018, so not too long ago. Maybe
I actually have them right here.
Cannibal Corpse Killers.
So funny. How am I missing out on all these?
I don't know.
Never heard of.
I never heard of. I mean, I've heard of the stuff like Mark of the Astro Zombies and stuff, but
Yeah, I think I've heard of that too.
Yeah,
um,
that's Ted B. Michaels.
yeah. but I haven't heard of these other ones, and I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
how is he?
here's Legend of the Hillbilly Butcher,
Oh wow.
and not directed by, but yeah, Ron Jason. So he's an actor in it.
Yep,
And then the other one, Cannibal Corpse Killers.
that's awesome.
Um, and
That is.
he's same director, Joaquin
Phoenix?
Montalvan or something. Yeah, he came back. He came back for the yeah, Ron Johnson and Ron Jason and Ron Jason. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So I'll have to watch these and
You got to
yeah,
see his acting. Now you haven't seen his writing yet either. You have to see his writing as well if you watch High Desert. Gotta let us know if
yeah. I think
him and
I'm
his
gonna
other
order
buddy,
those two.
if his other buddy who worked on Angel of Vengeance together. They're both in that. So if you can ever watch that movie, let's see if that's on eBay. Angel of Vengeance. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that these guys are like local, uh, to
Oh, it's a
you.
Ted V. Michaels movie. Oh, and Ray Dinish Steckler, who did like like the crazy mixed up zombies that stopped living and that really long
Yeah,
tail.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
He did that one. He also did that film. Red Letter Media did an entire episode of it that took place out in the desert. It has like three names. Chooper. It looks like it's Chopper, but it's Chooper.
All right, I just bought Angel of Vengeance, so I've got that coming to me. So these guys are getting
Wait,
more money
so
from
it's
me.
so it's on eBay.
It one copy was. I don't know if any other ones.
How
I
dare you steal that from me?
I guarantee there's more copies out
There
there.
has to be.
But that was $9, so $9 well spent.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, uncredited is Ray Dinish Steckler. But yeah, Ted V.
Nice.
Michaels, man, that's yeah, he was a big thing out here. Unfortunately, both these guys they
Are no
died.
longer with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially it's sad because Paul is a huge Ray Dennis Steckler fan. He's got to go down there in Las Vegas. He got to like meet Ray, I believe, once, and stuff. And he wished he got to interview him and like have like
Yeah.
a real like if he were doing this now, and he got to meet Ray Dennis Steckler now, he would be like
Yeah.
going crazy. So yeah, we're so lucky we still have like Fred Olin Ray and a lot Charles Band and a lot of these amazing directors who are still out
Oh
doing
yeah.
and making some amazing movies still and everything. But the ones that aren't anymore, we miss them because if you haven't seen Rap Finka Boo Boo, you guys are missing out. You gotta watch that movie. Um, all right. So we talked about a lot of the other stuff. Let's definitely talk about the things that we most likely didn't like about the film. We kind of touched on them a little bit, but like I didn't like the sound in the film. I could barely hear some of the stuff that they were saying, and then I would like turn up the volume, and then I'd have to turn it back down because it got loud all of a sudden, you know. So did you guys mind the sound, or did you not? Like, what did you guys think?
I didn't have any problem with the sound, but I watch a lot of SLV movies, so
So that stuff doesn't bother you at all.
no. I didn't have any times where I really had to turn it up to hear and then turn it down because it was too loud. I mean, I didn't have any problems with that.
Okay.
But that's me.
What about you, John? Did you have any problems with it as far as sound goes?
No, the only time that I rewound the movie was when the effects were happening.
Oh, just to see
Yeah.
the effects again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's see that that's actually a really good quote, like a really good thing to say. And like the only time I had to rewind it was to see how awesome the effects were again.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, those are facts. I mean, you got the girl's head that got spliced off. You got the intestines coming out.
A lot of people getting ripped apart and stuff.
Yeah, you got
there's
the one girl was pulled in half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the other guy was like tagged to the wall or whatever, and then his half of his body got cut off and everything.
That was
And-
weird because that wasn't like a normal one. Like, I can't get off the wall. Help me. I can't get like what? Are you like being forced against the wall?
Yeah, I'm guessing that was what it
Looks like
was.
this even had powers.
Like, oh shit, we ran out of money. What do we do? Okay, he's stuck to the wall. All right, cool.
And
You
it
know?
looked like the wall was probably just the what is it? Like
Oh, it was just like a big board,
yeah, or just like a
just
floor or something, and then like like
Yeah.
it looks like the wall, because the way that they shot it
yeah,
or
they
whatever.
shot it like this so he could poke up through here.
Yeah,
So it looks like he was on the wall. Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly
something
it.
like
Yeah.
that, which was cool. I mean, they were very clever,
Yeah.
for their death scenes. That was like those were my favorite parts.
Oh,
Everything
of course.
everything else, like the acting was decent, but some of it was not the greatest. But that's to be expected by people who've never acted before.
That's part of the charm to me.
To you, and you are a big SOV like
Charm.
lover,
Yeah.
like period. So this is like
It's one of
this
my
would
favorite.
normally anyway just get like love from you, like
Yeah.
you just adore it.
Oh man, okay. I don't think that this is valid anymore, but I'm looking up Angel of Vengeance. Jonathan has two people on the cover. It's like red and yellow. Is that what you got?
hmm, uh, it the one I have,
Maybe this isn't it. Maybe it's this
it
doesn't look
says
right.
Angel of Vengeance DVD 1993 Kung Fu action revenge movie.
But it's like the cover has two people, a man and a woman on it, red
Yeah.
letters, yellow letters.
And then and it's got like at the top
So
yeah.
it's got like
Does it
writing,
say
like Asian writing.
$5?
I'm not sure, but on one of them I found it says T-shirt enclosed.
Nice.
An Angel of Vengeance T-shirt is included free with purchase of this DVD. Limited
nice.
time and quality. Offer good only while supplies last. So that's probably long gone, but
No, check it out. Try to get it.
now I want that shirt. And it
It's a
does
nice
say here,
combination.
new Angel of Vengeance DVD with vintage shirt, classic 1993.
Try to get it.
It's $14.99.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
not that
That's a little
expensive.
that's not that expensive considering I spent $9 on the movie.
Yeah, you're-
$6 more for a t-shirt isn't a bad deal.
I just want to see who they don't list the directors or anything. I don't know if this is the same.
It's gotta be the same. Unless there's another Angel of Vengeance.
Because it's got somebody from Super Cop 2,
Angel
Crime Story. This looks very Asian. I don't think this is it.
Oh, there's a 1987 movie.
Oh, this is 93. The Vengeance that we're looking for is 87, right?
Oh, shit. Oops, I got the wrong Angel of Vengeance then. Oops. I got the Asian one. Oh, well, maybe it's good. I don't know. And there's no
Yeah,
Richard.
this is 87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm happy with the two that I might be ordering. So I'll just two
Maybe
collections,
I'll try to find the other one at some point. I'll have two Angels of Vengeance, movies.
there you go.
Happy
See,
accident.
look how excited we are. Just
I
trying
know.
to. I mean, we went from one guy to like his writers to his actors, and now we're like scooping up all of his stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome. I mean,
well,
that's how-
you bought
if you
you
could
bought
see my
both of the
nipples
guys'
right
movies,
now,
so
they're
there you
very
go.
hard because I'm so excited.
All right. Well, speaking of nipples, we're gonna talk about we're gonna go into the rating of this film. I
How
don't
does
know
nipples and ratings go together?
trying to segue somewhere in there and it didn't really work. So anyway, we're gonna talk about our rating, and how we do the rating here is we have a stinkometer. On the stinkometer scale, it's 1 to 10, 1 being very, very good, excellent. We've never had a 0, yet. we've had a negative of something or whatever, or whatever. But we've never had a 0 yet. Then it was a 5 is like is meh,
Metal.
is like, yeah, that's okay. You could do a 0.5, and 10 is very stinky. Now, stinky doesn't necessarily mean like this was god awful horrible, but it does mean it has a lot of problems,
It's an outhouse.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
It's
problems.
an outhouse of a movie.
Yes. And so if you get a 10, that means the film was pretty bad. It's not should have there should have been issues fixed, on it. A good example is Shark Exorcist. Love Donald Farmer. That movie got a 10 plus, for 30 plus for
10
that movie.
plus. Can you
Yeah.
do a plus? I thought
Yes,
it was just 10.
you can do a 10 plus if it's that bad. Now, we didn't do this
Wow. So
before.
I would have to give Robo Woman a 10 plus then.
Well, you weren't part of the Robo Woman one.
No, I wasn't. I don't think I could make it. I think you asked me, but for some reason I was out. I was really pissed that I couldn't be on that one.
Yeah, I think Colleen did it or something. Somebody did it. Yeah, no, that was a pretty bad one.
And especially after Red Letter Media's review of that, when Mike says that the filmmaker should be sued for false advising.
Yeah, well,
that should be on the
cover.
box. That
It should be on the box.
That's probably the most glowing review they're gonna get of that movie. Thing. So anyway, no, so Soul of the Demon, so you could also do 0.5 if you feel like 5.5 or 6.5, you're kind of in the middle or whatever. So who wants to go first? I want to hear John. I want to hear you because you seem to be,
I didn't know this was a test. I didn't study.
Mm.
This is a tough one. Because to me, one is like it would be like the Citizen Kane of indie movies,
right.
Which this is not. But it's not a 5 either. It's not meh.
Well,
so
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm stuck.
You stumped him.
Yeah.
Do you want me to skip you and go to Maddie and see what Maddie says?
Yeah, I kind of want to hear what you guys say first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have you be last, John. Okay. How about you, Maddie?
I would probably give this like a 2. No, either a 2.5 or a 3. We'll go with 2.5.
2.5.
This is a really fun shot on video movie, which again, I love shot on video. And honestly, I just feel like if I saw a better quality copy of it, it would become one of my new favorite shot on video movies. The gore is incredible. The story is fun. I mean, once the first kills start, you're like, oh shit. Because I feel like it kind of takes that like sharp turn, and you're just not expecting it to have. I don't know. You're not expecting it if you've never really heard of it. Like, I had never heard of it. I didn't know. And even the kids at the beginning digging up the gargoyle, it had a cool look. I love the whole aesthetic. I just really dug the movie. And yeah, I want to find a better quality copy and watch it, because if you could see the gore a little bit better, you'd be like, this should be a cult classic. It should. So yeah, I mean, at 2.5, I really enjoyed it.
All right.
I would watch it again.
Well, there you go. All right. So I would actually give it a 4, which is actually higher than I thought at first. Because originally I thought 6, because of my sound / you could barely see it sometimes. There's some scenes that's very dark, especially at the house, because obviously I don't think they had electricity at that freaking house.
I also think that had to do with the copy we were watching.
Yeah, because I had no problem watching it. I had no problem with sound. I had nothing. Yeah, it was fine.
Well, maybe it was my TV. I don't know. But I had a problem with a lot of stuff. But I really enjoyed, I really enjoyed the movie, like, period. Like, I had a fun time with the story. I had a fun time with a direction, as John stated, there were some really cool shots. There was some really, the seance was fun. They all looked like they were enjoying themselves, which also made me sort of enjoy the movie throughout, because there's some movies you see the actors and like they're not having a good time in these indie films
Right.
and stuff, and like maybe they were all like bitching at each other or something and not having fun, and then it kind of brings the movie down, and stuff. And it looked like all these people were actually probably friends who were just hanging out anyway. And we're just like, hey, let's just make this movie.
Growing
Exactly.
their hair out together.
Yeah, two guys had their hair almost exactly the same. It's crazy. But I love that. Like, I loved all of that stuff. It reminded me of Welcome Back, Cotter, and reminded me of, just and the basketball scene was so fucking
Oh
silly.
yeah.
Like, I was just like, I think it was like I forgot to mention this. So three guys are playing basketball, and then there's like a fourth black guy that kind of walks up, and then he walks out of the frame, and then he comes back, and then he walks back. And I'm like, was that supposed to happen? I don't think it was. I think that dude just like was literally on the
Yeah.
court at the same time as they were shooting and just sort of kept trying to get in the way of the film. Like, hey, look, mom on t television. And I thought that was so funny. But that's so SOV of like, you know what?
Exactly.
There's that guy. Let's just leave him in there. Let's just keep shooting. Keep rolling. So John, after hearing Maddie's 2.5 and my 4, what do you say?
I'm gonna say 3.
3?
Yeah, 3.
Okay, so between us, like in the middle of our.
Yeah, because it took a little while to get going. Once it did, it was awesome. And not to blame the filmmakers, but yeah, sound and picture quality. But I would probably maybe give it a little better if it was a Blu-ray or at least a DVD. So, but 3 I think is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. So 2.5, 3, so that's 5.5 plus 4, 9.5. Not bad. So there you go.
Definitely.
And so thank you guys for coming out and doing this. This is it's a lot of fun. Considering I hadn't seen it, I had no idea if this would even be something that you guys would have liked, or I knew no matter
I was
what, Maddie
scared.
would have enjoyed the SOV aspect,
Yeah.
but it could have still been a bad
It's good.
movie,
Yeah,
really, really
exactly.
bad movie. And it would have been one of those sad ones where you're like, oh man, and I had no idea. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So I
Adam.
was kind of excited that it was something I actually enjoyed. And that it does make me excited to see High Desert again, or not again, but like, actually sit down and watch it, or whatever. As I said, I have it. It's at the studio, so maybe someday I want to bring all the Pendulum Pictures movies to my house because, you know,
Definitely.
you
There's a
just
lot
never
of
know
good.
when you're in the mood to watch one.
Exactly.
There's so many, you know. And my plan is to buy all the Pendulum Pictures 6 packs, not just the 50 packs or whatever, unless, maybe even the 50 packs too. Just have all of
That's
them even twice, why not?
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah. You never know when a DVD will get scratched, and
Yep.
need another copy of it. So, anywho, yeah, that's it. I guess when is this gonna be out? Because I've got a schedule here. Me and my schedules for this, and this will probably be I'm gonna say October, November.
like 100 years from now.
I know it feels so
100
long.
years. That's how it feels. It's
What?
like, oh, I forgot I recorded this episode like 7 months ago.
It's
It's up.
happened. It has happened.
It has happened with me too.
All of a sudden,
Literally,
Jonathan will upload something, and I'll be like, "When was this done?"
Exactly.
literally, I'll be like, wait, Paul doesn't, there's one that Paul hasn't sent me yet. And I'll be like, what is that movie? And it'll be like Vampire Raiders versus the what's it called? Vampire Raiders. It's coming out like next month.
I guess we'll
Or
find
this
out
later this
next
month.
month.
Vampire Raiders versus the Ninja Queen. And I'm like, I don't even remember doing that. You know? Like I
What do you do
remember that I did
Sunday?
something, but I don't remember that movie. And yeah, and I gave it I guess we all gave it pretty terrible review of it. Like it's 10, 10, and 9.5.
Probably
So
why you don't remember it.
no, because usually those are the ones I remember. Because
Ah,
if
that's
it's that bad, then I
yeah.
must have hated it or something. So I have to like look back and go, oh yeah, I remember that, or whatever. But after we do so many and we do them so far in advance because we want to get them done before
Oh,
July,
for
and
sure.
then we go
Yeah,
move on to the next
understood.
season. It's just easier than trying to get them done last minute, or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's for sure.
So
That's for sure.
anywho, so thank you guys for coming on. This is awesome. I had a fun time, and I'm glad it was a good movie. Um,
Too.
and everybody else, go check out Soul of the Demon. I believe it's on, you can probably find a copy of it on YouTube or go to Pendulum Pictures.
Yeah, even if you just watch it on YouTube, you get used to the quality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just kind of gotta like I remember people complaining about the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray when it came out because it's shot on film, it's very grainy. And people are like, why is this thing so grainy? It looks like crap. And it's like, no, that's film. That's how you
Exactly.
that's film. That's not
That's what people don't seem to understand.
yeah. So this is kind of the same thing where you had to get used to that Ghostbusters one. Your eyes had to kind of just adjust to it, and you could do the same thing with this. If you just make it through that opening, wait till they get to the haunted house, and then and then you'll enjoy it.
you enjoy a lot more. I mean, it's not a slow burn or anything because it's fast
No, and it's
enough
and it's
where,
short.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
short, like it's short before they get to that stuff, but there is a lot of like
Filler.
chatter for a little bit before they really get into like the scary stuff, or
yeah,
whatever. And it's not scary. I mean, I didn't think it was terrifying, but it was
It's fun.
very Evil Dead and Night of the Demons. So I think
Yeah.
that was the two of the bigger influences of this film.
yeah, yeah.
So there you go. So if you like Night of the Demons and Evil Dead and those kind of movies, check
Who
out Soul of
doesn't?
the Demon. What?
Who doesn't
Who
like
doesn't? No, like idiots. I'm gonna say it
Idiots.
straight up, idiots.
it?
Stupid idiots.
Stupid,
Stupid people.
stupid. All right. Anyway. All right. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Join us next week. We'll have a new episode. I think it will be Paul's pick. So, and this will be out in October. So get ready, for that time.
I
Uh,
will. I'll be
until
waiting.
then, what?
I'll be waiting.
Yes, you'll be waiting. Close
With
to Halloween.
anticipation.
Oh, thank you. You're gonna give me Sheldon vibes there. I was gonna have to fucking fight you on that. Like, finish your damn
Oh,
sentence.
come on. I was quoting Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for checking this out. I hope you guys enjoyed it and join us next week. Till then, bye everybody.
Bye.